Hello, welcome to Dundrell's podcast. I'm your host Justin. We're doing another game review. We finally finished The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure, which was a sequel to Trails from Zero, which came out last year. Both these games originally came out in like 2010, 2011. This game came out in 2011. Only recently came to the West like 2 months ago, right? March 14th. This is a turn-based RPG on a grid, kind of like on a grid like platform, kind of, but it's not. It's not. You don't really have to move them around. It's only if you want to get out of the way of special attacks and stuff that you need to, move them around, or do you want people to get healed or have special bonuses, right? Because this is one of those RPGs where it's very buff and debuff, like heavy, right? Kind of like with Final Fantasy 13, right? Where that, good luck being that game if you don't buff and debuff constantly in that game. So yeah, this game Nippon Falcom was developed by Nihon Falcom, published by Nippon Ichi Software, America. So I'm just gonna go into the plot of the game, right, which takes place 2 months after the events of the previous game, where our characters, the special support section, have been separated. Lloyd went to learn from the First Division, went on a special mission with Noel Seeker from the Crossbell Guard Force. Dudley from oh my god, Dudley is such a dumb name. Dudley from First Division and Arios McLean from the Bracers, right, to capture demonized. I forget the guy's name. The guy who tried to kill the mayor in the last game, right? Right. So that's that. The game starts off with like kind of like a tutorial mission, right? Which you can port over your save from the last game, but you don't start off at whatever level you were in the last game. You start off at basically level 49, right? You have none of your special like equipment or items, right? Which that really annoyed me, because you bust your ass for the Grail Locket, only for the Grail Locket to be gone, right? Which you can only get the Grail Locket in this game if you get your detective license to like 5th class or whatever, or there's like a boss really at the boss at the end of the game that drops a Grail Locket. Which I say the end of the game, but the end of the game is like 20 hours. It's insane, man. The final chapter, right? Which I don't even have my thing in front of me. There's like 4 chapters, but there's like an intermission, there's a prologue, and there's the final chapter, which took me like 20 hours to beat. I should mention I'm probably going to have some spoilers for Trails of Cold Steel 1. Some minor spoilers. I'm not going to spoil like a lot of stuff, right? But yeah, what happens? Our characters are separated. Tio went to the Epstein Foundation again, right? I'm not going to make the same joke as I did from last time. Randy went back to the CGF, and Ellie went to help her politician grandfather, right? Right. So the special support section in like the first chapter of the game is just Lloyd, Noel Seeker, and Wazi Hemisphere, right? Who joins the team even though he has a criminal background, which is great. Which, yeah, I'm not gonna spoil nothing, but it's like, wow, we're letting this guy who who's a leader of a street gang joined the police. What the hell? It's like, oh my god. It's like these people obviously never saw Infernal Affairs 1, right? Which I should mention. I said we would do a game poll for the next game review. That's only if we get 50 views on this video, right? No ticky, no laundry, right? If you guys want to choose what games or movies I should watch, you should, help the channel grow. It's only fair. If you're gonna make me dedicate weeks to months reviewing stuff, you should help, support the channel a little bit. I'm not asking for money, just like likes and comments and stuff like that. Alright, I'm not a grifter, okay? Right. But like, yeah, later on, like, everybody comes back, right? To the point where you have like near the end of the game, you have 8 party members, which you can only have 2 in your backup and 4 people on the team, which makes it very awkward when you have to have certain people in your party and they're like 10 levels behind everybody. Yeah, lots of grinding you need to do in this game, right? Okay, so yeah, the main thing that happens in the game is like Crossbell. There's political turmoil in Crossbell when the new mayor, the new mayor, and like an event that happens in Trails of Cold Steel 1 declares independence, right, and wants to separate, from the Empire of Erbonia and the Republic of Calvert, which both feel like they have like claim to Crossbell, right? Which is so stupid, because I remember like playing Trails of Cold Steel 1 thinking, like Crossbell was probably, because it's democratic or whatever, you would probably be on the Republic side, but no, even the Republic makes no sense that the Republic would also be like, yeah, we own this country, even though we're democratic. Like, what the fuck? That makes no sense. We own this country because of 2,000 years of bullshit, but 100 years ago we got rid of all the old political system, and now we're democratic. But we still like we own this shit. It's like, that makes no fucking sense. It's like, oh my god. It's like, yeah, basically Crossbell, even though it has a very New York feel to the city, right? It's basically supposed to be like a Taiwan or South Korea, basically. Right. Yeah. So that's the main conflict of the game, and you also have the secret society that's mentioned in Crossbell and in the previous game, Ouroboros, who were, I think, the main bad guys in the Trails in the Sky series, are in this game as well, right? And the secret cult is fucking back, which I don't know how if I like that or not. But yeah, you got lots of cameos from characters from Trails of Cold Steel, and characters from the Trails in the Sky people. Though, like, Josh and Estelle only show up like near the end of the game, the final chapter. Which, holy fuck, the final chapter was almost so long that they could have just released that as the third fucking game. Right? Yeah. I should mention they changed the magic system again to the point where you have it's closer to Trails of Cold Steel, where you have a Master Quartz now that levels up, right? And when you get it, but it's basically a combo of the quartz system from the previous game and Trails of Cold Steel 1, where you have a Master Quartz, but instead of like it leveling up and you get new spells, it's you get the colors, the color stats will increase, and you get new, like, spells, which you can upgrade your slots and stuff, right? Upgrade your slots, right? But when you get your master quartz to level 5, you get like a special rune that allows you to do some really cool things. But the problem with that is that your character can't fucking move, and the initial like boost it gives only happens when you first activate it. But at the end of every turn, there will be like a special a default special effect, and it'll deal damage to all enemies, though it's not a lot of damage, right? Uh, yeah, it does, but it's still worth doing, but it's useless against the fucking final boss, which is, like I told Kevin last night when I beat the fucking game at like almost 1 a.m. It was like 12, like it was like 12:40. Man, holy fuck. I'm old. I like to go to bed at like 10 or 11, man. I stayed up like super late to beat this game. I stayed like super late to beat this game, man. Oh my god, that fucking final boss was bullshit. Yeah. I should just go in my likes and dislikes for the game, which I should mention, if for people who haven't played the first game, you have like you have um you have a main quest mission you have to do, but you also have side quest missions that you want to do so you can level up your detective license, so you can get special equipment and stuff. Right. There's also mini games like fishing and gambling, which I hardly did any of the fucking fishing in this game because I was a master fisher in the previous game. Why do I want to go through the bullshit of doing that again? But there is a thing where, like, oh, you have a rivalry with Arbonia fishing club called the Imperial Fishing Club, which takes your place business, like, I mean the club building. So you have this rivalry with them, which I could give a fuck about, especially when they take the Imperial Fishing Club members take up all the best fishing spots, right? Which is like, what the fuck? That was bullshit. That's why I was like, fuck the fishing shit. And there is a thing where, like, where they have like where there are special quartz that you need to get fish, like catch certain fish to get them, to train them in at the exchange shop. But I was like, it's not that big a deal. They're not that good, and you get better quartz at the end of the game, right? Which that sucks that you to get the best equipment in the game, you have to is in the fucking dungeons at the end of the game, right? Which the finale of the game is basically a fucking, took me like 22 hours just to do the last chapter, which I put in like 72 hours to beat this game, when the last game only took me 60 hours, right? It is like a gauntlet of fucking dungeons and bosses, and the bosses get super fucking hard at the end of the game, right? Where basically you're gonna want to be at least level 110 for the final boss, right? Which is like, I think she was like 120. I'm not sure, but thank God for the retry at a lower difficulty setting, even though it didn't help too much at the first stage of the final boss, where you kill her, but she keeps coming back to life. So it's like, what the fuck are you supposed to do? I figured out you're supposed to kill the enemies she has around her, which all have like the stupid like stats that make them invulnerable to attacks and spells, for 2 turns each, so that was fucking annoying. Well, not 2 turns each, but like they need to be attacked like, you know, per like physically and magically like twice in a row before they can take damage, right? So that was annoying as fuck. I'm just going my likes and dislikes. I'm sorry this review sucks. I didn't I'm not I wasn't I did not have I liked the game until like the very end. Is basically how I feel about the game. Everything like I like the characters, I like the story. I like I have mixed feelings on the plot twists. I like the new characters, like the mercenaries. Right? I was right on who Yin's identity is, and I was half right on how Crossbell defeated the Imperial Army. Right? I was only half right. Right? But now I'm gonna go with my likes and dislikes. My dislikes. The game's too fucking long. The game's difficulty was went way too high at the end of the game for what was like the original. The last game was a casual, comfy RPG, and then this game goes like, what the fuck? It goes into SMT level hard for like, what the fuck, man? That was bullshit. And like the one thing I like about this game is the political stuff. And the political stuff, because there's enough going on with the political stuff where you don't need magic gods bullshit. But apparently, because the previous games had that, the whole story has to be revolved around that shit, right? Yeah. Oh, I did like we finally found out who killed Lloyd's brother, right? Guy Bennings, who gives Lloyd his tonfas, which are clearly different from his tonfas, from the handle to the core, which has a blue core instead of red core, which your character can equip, but it's still the standard tonfas. So I was like, what the fuck? Oh my god. That was yeah. The one time they should have changed the weapon model, they didn't, because they were too fucking lazy. All right. Yeah. But what was the other fucking thing I had? Which I mean, I already mentioned how they force you to have certain fucking characters in your party when you have too many fucking characters, where you have to leave behind while you fight other bosses. So like now you have to grind with the characters from, you know, that you need for like certain dungeons, mini dungeons, right? Which could we not have had, instead of having separate dungeons to fight Shirley and her dad, could we have not just fought Shirley and her dad together? We had to have separate dungeons for that. What the fuck? Oh my god, man. The game goes way too long. I did like this. They had like a lot more CG cutscenes, which crashed my fucking Switch. But thankfully it didn't happen the second time around. But thank you. Right. Yeah. And my major problem with this fucking game, which the game takes place during Trails of Cold Steel 1, which, you know, there was a thing where a bad guy from that game shows up and dies in this game, right? Which I kind of didn't like that at first, but I'm like, okay, whatever. But what I don't like, which this game takes place during the events of Trails of Cold Steel 1, this game, the ending of this game has a time skip where they spoil fucking shit that happens in Trails of Cold Steel 2, which Trails of Cold Steel 2 came out, what, a year after this fucking game in Japan? And they fucking spoiled what happened in this fucking Civil War? What the fuck? I haven't even got to play Trails of Cold Steel 2 yet. Which, don't give me shit that, oh yeah, you had like a decade or whatever. This game originally came out a year before Trails of Cold Steel 2. And they pretty much spoiled the end of that fucking game Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck off, man. I didn't spend $110 on fucking Trails of Cold Steel 2 for this fucking game to spoil the events of it. Like, what the fuck? Okay, that was such fucking bullshit, man. Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me? I was originally going to give this game an 8. But I should give it a 6, but you know, I'm not. You don't rate a movie or a game based off your favorite parts. You don't fucking just hate it just for nitpicks, right? So I'm giving it a solid. It's a solid 7. People who like the first game will probably like this game, but the difficulty goes way fucking up, right? And I didn't like how they shit on my favorite character, Randolph, so much. Though they give him like a cool new weapon that he can only use in like a special attack, which the new special attacks they put in the game look fucking cool. I'll mention that. But yeah, that 7 out of 10. Yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, it's the thing where people are like, oh, this is better than the original. For all the bullshit this game has, yeah, it has shit that's better than the original, but the shit that is worse from the original bounces out, in my opinion. So 7 out of 10. If the video does not, if we don't get 50 views, then the next review will be Trails of Cold Steel 2, which this game kind of fucking ruined for me because they spoiled shit. So thanks for that, buddy. Oh, thanks, man. Oh my god. But yeah, if this game gets, if this review gets 50 views, it's the choices for the next game are Motto Anomalies, Fairy Tail, and what was the other one? I forgot. Soul Hackers 2. So yeah, peace.